Books. We're going to talk about books. Hi, everybody, as you're coming in.
Hey, Julie, I'm having some issues with my computer. Can I not go first?
You cannot go first.
Thank you.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this little thing like this. You want to go last?
Sure, it doesn't matter. Well, I mean, as long as I'm not first, because it's just something's weird. Everything's like stuck.
Okay, so I just changed my screen. I don't know if it changed everybody else's, but it helps me to keep control of everybody. So I show Tom, Julia, and Andrea. So that's the
I want
order
you
that
to
we're going
keep
to go in.
you have to keep control of everybody.
I
So
have when you guys turn your screen off and then you show up at a different
I
place, it's
know.
like my brain just goes scrambles around. Yeah, thank God it's Monday, Beth Doherty. Okay, so I was away visiting my darling little grandchildren. Came back with COVID. Yoo-hoo!
No.
Oh yeah.
Did you
Test
take Paxlovid?
I did not.
Shit.
I well, I don't feel that bad. I tested positive on Saturday and look at me.
I know. Look
Glowing.
at you.
Huh?
You're
Glowing.
glowing.
Glowing. Well, that's because I have a fever. Fever's
The
gone.
COVID glow.
It's
Just
the
keep,
COVID
just,
glow. It's the
just
green COVID glow.
keep it easy, though. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, because I do know that because okay, so I've been home and it's like, okay, well, I'll go clean out this cabinet. And like 3 minutes later, I'm like, oh my
No,
God, I can't
no,
do
you
that.
can't do that. You can't do that.
But I don't have my cough is like very minimal. Fever's
Did you
gone.
have do you know if it was the new version that has the bad sore throat, I think.
I
Razor.
didn't have the
What's
razor
it
blade
called?
throat, but the razor blade throat. I didn't have the razor blade throat, but I did have a sore throat, and that's what made me
Uh,
even do a test because I didn't feel that bad, but I was like, I got this sore throat. And sure
yeah.
enough, little pink line. So to say the least, I've had between three grandchildren under the age of 3 and COVID. I haven't done a lot of reading these last 10
Oh,
days,
sure. Yeah,
which
right.
kind of sucks.
No
So
time or energy.
yeah, both. Yeah, exactly. Because as soon as I start to read something, although, Julie, can I say what I'm doing next
I
week?
was gonna say, did you get the book that you need to have?
Can I say what I'm doing next week?
Yeah.
Well, if because it's no secret that Reese Witherspoon and Harlan Coben have a new book coming out in October. They
Yes.
already announced it, showed the cover the whole bit. But I'm going to show my face again. Guess who's doing the interview for the booksellers?
What?
Whoa.
Woohoo, good
And
work.
guess who recommended me? And I'm
All
halfway
the
through
best
it.
people.
It's really good.
It
It
is good.
is good. It is like it goes. So in fact, I was reading it before I was like, oh, I gotta go do tea time. So I am reading that, but this is a big teaser because it's not out until October.
Yeah. It's called Gone Before Goodbye.
Gone Before Goodbye. And I was in, I'll tell this quick story and then we'll get to the books. I was in Chicago and I was reading the email. I don't know if I even told you this, Julia. So I was just trying to clean out some emails while I was sitting there. It's like kids were doing something, and I get this, oh, we're doing a special virtual event for Reese Witherspoon and Harlan Coben. And I already knew about the book coming out. So I thought I was just getting invited to like come watch the interview, watch the virtual event, right? And the second paragraph, we'd like to know if you'd like to do the, and I was like, oh, good thing I read that second paragraph. And I looked at my daughter, I go, I just got asked to do the interview for Reese Witherspoon and Harlan Coben. She was
That's
like,
so good.
guys, yeah, that's pretty good. It's like suburban mom here coming in strong. Anyways, it's gonna be, I can't wait.
You'll be
It's gonna be so
COVID
fun.
free by then, I'm
I'll be
sure.
totally COVID free. I already got questions. I mean, questions about the book, because I'm actually fascinated by like how they did it together. Were they, I mean, one of my questions is like, okay, were you like, if you didn't like something that the other person put in, were you brutally honest, or did you like, cover it in niceties before you said that sucks?
Well, yeah, I want to know the whole thing, which I'm sure you both will tell us. But like, how did they? Is this Reese's first actual book that
Yes.
he's
Well, she
written?
wrote a
Well, no,
cookbook.
she wrote a cookbook,
Oh, okay.
but
But
this is her first like
nothing
into
like
fiction.
this.
Yeah. This
So
is her first venture into
I would
fiction.
think she would defer to Harlan Coben more times than not, but I don't know.
But you don't know.
Yeah.
It's Reese Witherspoon. Just say it.
Yeah,
So
they were what I know is that they were friends before this. And that they then there was this idea that came up, and I think Reese had it, and then in trying to find a co-author to do something cool like this, like
and
they
he was very clear on the one interview that he's like, I don't collaborate. But the idea that she had was so intriguing that he's like, I'm going to collaborate.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So
So
it's very cool. So I'm
yeah,
so excited. Thank you, Julia.
of course. Well, I knew you would ask interesting questions and not be super thrown off by the
Yeah.
celebrity involved.
Yeah. It's like,
So
yeah, if I was able to do listen Richard Gere,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't fold under Richard Gere. I'm okay with Reese Witherspoon. It's good. All right, everybody, let's get to talking about some books that you actually can buy right now and you can read right now. Maybe we'll talk about some that are in the future. But Tom, do we have the screen share on if you want it?
I'm not going to share as
Okay.
usual, but someday I
Okay.
might.
Someday.
But thank you for considering that I might.
All right.
So my first book is Jason Mott's People Like Us.
Oh.
See that, right? So this came out a week ago, last Tuesday. This is the follow-up to his book, Hell of a Book. It was called Hell of a Book, which won the National Book Award maybe 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's a fascinating writer, and this book, delivered. I liked it more, I think, than Hell of a Book even. He has this way. So Hell of a Book and this book. You don't have to have read the first book to read this one, though they're related. Both are about writers and the life of a writer, a black writer, as Jason Mott is. So much of the book feels like, and I heard him interviewed on NPR this weekend. There's a combination of memoir and fiction. These are novels, definitely novels, but so much of himself is in these books. So much so that in the new book, you can see from the cover, you can see that author getting squished by an award sticker, because this is about a writer who has won the big award. That says the sticker says the big one. And so there's great publishing stuff in here. There's a hilarious scene, totally made up, but debauchery at the publisher when he wins the award after. So they're drinking alcohol out of this prize, like a trophy, and they're like drinking on the roof of the building. Never happened, I'm sure, but that's the kind of so that's part of it. So part of it is the writer part, but most importantly, these books are about America and what it feels like to be a black writer in America, told in the most engaging, funny, still dealing with the most serious of issues. So in here, you're following two black writers. One of them is this award-winning writer on his world tour after winning the big one. And the other is a writer who we also met in the first book, who is going to give a speech at a school in Minnesota where there has recently been a school shooting. So both of these books deal with gun violence for sure, both the last one and this one. He doesn't shy away from what we are struggling with as a country, and yet they're so readable and funny and smart and just like nothing else I've ever read. I haven't read books like this that are so ambitious and deeply serious and yet very funny at the same time. So People Like Us, follow up to the National Book Award winning Hell of a Book by Jason Mott.
And I can't remember the title of his first book. I could have looked it up while we were talking, but I wanted to listen to what you were saying. But I had the pleasure of sitting by him at a dinner for his very first book.
I remember.
And,
I remember you telling us that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's fantastic. So kudos to him. Glad it's working his way. So
I mean, and how exciting, because that book, I think his earlier books were genre of some kind. They were not.
Yeah,
this
and the
kind
one
of-
that I think he was moving into this a little bit more. It wasn't quite the big jump that he did from to Hell of a
The
Book,
last
but
book, yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, he was good.
Yeah,
He's very
and
good.
there's a moment in this book where, and they talked about it on NPR, when the writer he's traveling to Italy and Paris, and he's asked, "Do you love America?" And his answer is perfect and complicated, and that just that scene encapsulates everything about the book because it's funny and yet it hits you hard at the same time. Really good book.
Love it. Okay. All right, Julia, what do you got for us?
Okay. My first one is so much fun. Let me remember how to work my computer. So my first book is Seduction Theory by Emily Henry. And this book, I have been waiting to tell you all about this book. So, this is one of the first books when, when before we sort of have sales conference, like some of the books sort of trickle up. Some of the other sales channels sell before us, so they've often read books a little before I have. And so this was the first book that I heard about for fall. And it is it is so much fun. It's juicy. It follows these two professors who they both teach at an MFA program, and they are both having affairs of different kinds. One of them, so they're a husband and wife couple. The husband sort of has an affair with the secretary in a sort of very traditional way, but the wife is having an emotional affair with a female student in this program. And the book you are reading, Seduction Theory, is that student's final project so that she can graduate with her MFA from this university, and she is about to turn in said project to the board that decides on who gets their MFA awarded, and that board includes both husband and wife. And so it is so
I love it.
It's like juicy, it's sexy, it's not that long, like it's like maybe 200 pages, it's pretty short, so you can fly through this. And like, it is, my girlfriend came over and read it in one afternoon while she was like, I was doing laundry. She just like sat on the couch and read the whole thing and was like, this is amazing.
And does it just like rip the MFA program too, I'm sure?
I mean, it's so funny because one of my stores was like, don't we have enough fiction about MFA people cheating on each other? And I said, as someone who was raised at a university and had a mother who worked in HR at a university, I want to tell you that the amount of stories about it is not nearly enough for how many it happens, for how often it happens. So it is like, it is so fun. It's so like, it's smart and it's literary, but it's also like a good time. So if you're, taking some last beach days in the summer or taking a flight or something like that, like this is definitely something to sink into. It is just a good time all around. So it's Seduction Theory by Emily Adrian, and I think you're all really gonna like it.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, before you start, Andrea, Mary Lou's on here. She said her copy of Mona's Eyes just arrived and it knocked her socks off. She said this is truly an amazing and brilliant book. I think so too, Mary Lou. I love that book. I love that book.
Is very exciting to hear, and I hope that you have been referring to the poster while thinking about the 52 different artworks.
I know. The fact that that cover comes off and they're all there.
Yes.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Talking about that in a week or two. So
awesome.
Just, I have to like share the love with everybody else who hasn't ordered their copy yet. But today, the first book I want to talk about is Wendy Cope, Collected Poems. This is a very large book. Let me see if I can get this. Oh no, am I going to be able to get this off now?
I can take you off.
Well, yeah, can you? I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm seriously struggling with my computer today.
There we go.
I think I'm just struggling with life.
It's just I think it is.
Yeah, I am just very happy that I don't operate any heavy machinery and that I don't have to. So as you can tell from that cover, it's a beautiful object. It's 500 and I don't know, 10, 12 pages. It's a big thick book. She's in her 80s. She just turned 80 and she's been writing a lot of poems. She's not very well known here in the UK. She is a major star and she's a rhyming poet. And so it's easy to think that they're all sweetness and light, but there's a lot of darkness that sneaks up on you in these poems, akin to Philip Larkin, the great mid-century British poet. And we're excited that we have this collection. She did another collection of new poems, The Orange, about a year ago or so, and this is from Faber and Faber, our one of our storied British presses. And I don't think she's going to do another full collection of poems. She's pretty much like stepped back from writing as robustly as she was before. So this collected is something great. Oh my gosh, now I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. There's a bunch of rabbit brush floating around up here, and it is doing me down, let me just tell you.
Killing you.
Yeah, it is. The valley is quite pretty with like golden blooms of stuff. But anyway, there was July, I think it was July 28th, Dwight Garner in the New York Times wrote a beautiful profile on her. It's just a glowing endorsement of Wendy Cope and her work. And I'm just so happy that readers are starting to come to her. The indie uh store, like array of stores across the country, that whole community is coming to her, and Warwick's has gotten behind her, and there's inventory for you to run down and get. Collected Poems by Wendy Cope.
And a great cover on that one too.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Yep. All righty. I think I just got caught up with all of the stuff going on in the chat. The chat's going wild today. Y'all are wild. All kinds of good stuff going on in there. Anywho, Tom.
Okay, so I have been waiting a long time to talk about this book, and I've been anxiously awaiting the next novel from. So I loved Jessica Francis Cain's last book, Rules for Visiting,
Mm-hmm.
which was a Warwick's favorite 6 years ago, and
God, it's
still a
already been
big
6 years.
It's been 6 years, yeah.
Wow.
Hard to believe.
I know.
Pre-pandemic. Although I think it was maybe just before the pandemic because it had to do with a woman who decides to go visit friends and in person. And so it was really like resonated in that moment of separation too. And it's just a wonderful novel. So if you haven't read Rules for Visiting, highly recommend that. And I've been emailing the editor at Penguin Press for a long time now to say, I don't want to bug the author, but please tell me there's a new Jessica Francis Cain. There is. But first, sorry, I'm going to go on for a bit. But first, let me remind you who Penelope Fitzgerald is. Do we all know who Penelope Fitzgerald is? One of the great writers of the 20th century, right, Andrea?
Yes.
This is at Freddy's, but she's most famous for books like The Blue Flower and The Bookshop. And Penelope Fitzgerald, I mean, just go to her Wikipedia page. She lived an amazing life. She didn't start her literary career until she was 57, and that was 1975. And in the next 25 years, she won the Booker Prize, she won the National Book Award, she was one of the most esteemed writers of the time. So that brings me back to the new Jessica Francis Cain, which is called Fonseca. And it's a novel about a period of time, a short period of time in Penelope Fitzgerald's life when this was in the 50s. So this was 1952 and 53. So almost 25 years before she became the famous writer, she was with her husband, her alcoholic husband. She was the editor of a literary review in England that was struggling big time. And they're penniless. She was money was a big issue for her for most of her life. Um, and so she spent a period of time in Mexico. So she traveled from England to Mexico, a place called Saltillo. Um, and that this really happened, but not much is known about her time there. So Jessica Frances Cain has written a novel about what she imagines happened in Mexico in the 50s and it's she's going there to try. There's a couple of aunts who are somehow related, she thinks or hopes, who might have a fortune, who might get her out of her money problems. And that's true. When she gets there, she realizes there's a lot of people hanging around these ladies who also are hoping to get that money. So it is, I love books, and I'm not a big fan of biopics that try to tell the whole story of a life or novels that tell the whole story. But if you give me a fascinating look at a period of time in a writer's life, I'm all in. So that's what we have here. It's beautiful. So there's also, you might notice, Edward Hopper on the cover here. And that's a period of Hopper that I didn't really know either. But he was in he was in the same town at the same time as Penelope Fitzgerald. So he and his wife are characters in this situation. It's beautifully told, it's funny, it's smart, it's everything you'd hope. I mean, if you've read Penelope Fitzgerald, it has all the attributes of a Penelope Fitzgerald. So out tomorrow. The reviews are incredible already. Bunch ran over the weekend, but the Boston Globe said Cain has found a perfect muse, evoking real life events and how they fired the crucible of an artist's imagination. Her technique is delicate yet astute, recalling Elizabeth Strout. The result is a book brimming with entangled fiction, history, and biography, the unexpected treasures a writer unearths at the convergence of genres. So love it, Fonseca, Jessica Frances Cain. And a gorgeous book.
Yeah, love it. Love the cover. It's
You
really
can't go wrong with Hopper.
yeah, and it's a very engaging. The colors and everything are good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the reason it's called Fonseca is that's what I mean. She never talked about her time in Mexico in this town called Saltillo, but when she did, which was very rarely, she referred to it as Fonseca for whatever reason. And that's where Jessica Frances Cain got the idea. Also, I should mention there's obviously biographical element here, including she has been in touch with the children of Penelope Fitzgerald, and they have shared letters with her from that time that are in the book. So it's an interesting mix of fiction and biography.
Oh, I love it.
Really well done.
Love it. All righty, Julia.
Okay, my next one is nonfiction. And this is a favorite of mine. This is called Ready for My Close-Up, The Making of Sunset Boulevard and the Dark Side of the Hollywood Dream.
Oh, talk about a great cover. Look at that.
She is big, Julie. It's the pictures that got small. This is, so for I feel like for those who don't know, it's the 75th anniversary of Sunset Boulevard this year. And of course, Sunset Boulevard on Broadway, Nicole Scherzinger just won a Tony. So I feel like there's a lot sort of going for it. But Sunset Boulevard was the first film that really took on Hollywood and like what Hollywood does to people and how it sort of chews people up and spits them out. I think I've shared this before, but I did used to give the Paramount studio tour when I first moved to Los Angeles. That was my first job in LA was I gave the Paramount studio tour, and Sunset Boulevard is a big part of that tour because it was a Paramount film, and a lot of it was shot on the Paramount lot. And if you don't know Sunset Boulevard, it's about an aged Hollywood star. She used to be a silent film star. And then when Talking Pictures came in, she sort of lost her star power, and mental health is it's not something we were talking about at the time, but it's a big theme of Sunset Boulevard, exactly where her mental health goes. And so this movie is so fascinating because it starred all of these people who had been famous during the silent film era. So if you're watching it in the theater in the 1950s, when it first came out, 51, I think it came out, or well, 75 years ago. I can't do that math right off the top of my head. But 1950. But so if you're watching it, you know who those people are, but they're people who used to be famous. So, Gloria Swanson, who plays Norma Desmond, was very famous. And then in the movie, her butler slash driver is actually the real director that directed her last silent film. So there's a lot of Easter eggs sort of within that film. And there's a great famous poker scene where she's playing cards with all of her old friends, and it's a bunch of aging silent film stars, including, of course, Buster Keaton, sitting at a table together playing cards. So just magical. And this book takes you behind the scenes. I mean, what's really interesting about the filming of the movie is that it was all over LA. It takes place at Schwab's drugstore. If you want to see that old Hollywood LA, it is all over this book. The behind the scenes of filming it is just fascinating. And then, of course, comes the Oscars. When Gloria Swanson was nominated for an Oscar for this film, it was a big comeback movie. But one of the other people that was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress was Bette Davis for All About Eve that year. And the Oscar voting split, and Judy Holliday won for some movie that nobody remembers, some parade movie. And so it is just, it digs deep. If you like a Hollywood history, this digs deep, but it also digs deep into this sort of foundational text for thinking about Hollywood and the sort of darker sides of Hollywood. This is a great book. It's so well written. It's so fun to read. But if you are an enjoyer of Hollywood history, this one is definitely one to dig into.
Great. Who knew I had no idea on the Oscar thing. That's crazy.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
That sounds so good. Now, yesterday on CBS Sunday Morning, there was a great piece about, I don't know if they mentioned the book, maybe they interviewed the author, but it was about Sunset Boulevard at 75. And they interviewed, is it Nancy Olson, who was the young woman, and she was like 22.
Yeah.
And she was nominated, I think, for Best Supporting Actress.
She was, yeah.
She's, I think, 97, but when you see her interviewed,
yeah,
she looks in her 50s or something. She is
Greatly.
absurdly well preserved and just sharp as a tack, talking about these people, William Holden, Gloria Swanson. It's great. So that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
TMC, I'm sure, must be doing a rerun of that going on.
I was gonna say, if you haven't watched that movie ever or in a long time, it not only does it hold up, it is stellar. It is such a good movie. It is so much fun to watch. And of course, there's the lines you will recognize. But I
need to go look for it.
I'm ready for my close-up is, of course, from Mr. DeMille. I'm ready for my close-up is, of course, from Sunset Boulevard. But a phenomenal movie. This, I mean, could be made now. It is as modern as it was 75 years ago. It's just great.
Yeah. Love it. Can't wait. I gotta go watch it.
It's one of the greats.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's Billy Wilder, so it's
yeah,
pretty much anything he did was one of the greats, I think.
Yeah.
He's no Mike Nichols, though, right?
No Mike Nichols, no. Inspired Mike Nichols, though, I'll have you know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Andrea.
I want to talk about Vegas, a memoir of a dark season by John Gregory Dunn. And for folks who don't know or have forgotten, John Gregory Dunn was the husband of Joan Didion and a great writer in his own stead. And McNally Editions has come out with this book 50 years after it was first published. It quickly fell out of print, which was a crime. Basically, Esquire said that, let me see, here's my notes. The best book about Sin City ever written. Dunn's grotesqueries aren't drug-induced. They're just very real. This is the genuine Vegas. So what happened was after years of a literary partnership and support, Dunn was a very supportive husband and supportive of Didion's work. they had a falling out, and he was having an existential crisis. And as her star was starting to rise, and his was faltering a little bit. He'd always been supportive, but um, he just he lost it. He went to Vegas. He lost the plot totally. Hiring like prostitutes to come into his like hotel room, drinking entirely too much, that sort of thing. Everything that Vegas we know Vegas from the movies. Okay, basically he was a living caricature of like dissipation and regret. And but he tells the tale. He is not afraid to tell the tale, and I have respect for that. And it's lurid and painful at times, but extremely well written. And this is getting tons of attention on and off of the book page right now. Everybody's loving it and very happy that this has been um, reissued by the Great McNally Editions. And I do think that it's I read a really great review about this book, and a reckoning of it, and the a writerly partnership. And one of the last lines was you know he died earlier, of course, as we know from the Year of Magical Thinking by Didion. But um and and this review like ends like, um with those final books, she got the last word. She always did. But now that this book is now back in print, there's more to like, just excavate in the fascinating relationship that was Joan Didion and John Gregory Dunn's marriage. So very exciting. And there's copies of this at your local indie fave, Warwick's.
Love it. I mean, it's fascinating to me that Joan Didion and her husband, that there's still so much in the
Yeah. Conversation.
conversation still.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy. I mean, it's not crazy, but it's just like, it's fascinating.
I met them at a party once in New York
Wow.
City, back in the BEA days, Book Expo America days. And that was I'll never forget it.
I bet not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are some of the good old days.
Yeah.
All right. We're at our lightning round.
Okay, but before I get to my book, McNally Editions is writing crimes, all literary crimes. Every book is a literary crime, right? Because a crime was committed by a book that has now been forgotten, and they're bringing it back.
Yes, it's
Love it.
so great. They have
Amazing.
a core team of editors that are really brilliant, and it's just, it's a joy to work with them. I'm very excited that they've come aboard to
Yeah.
to
I
work.
love the idea of literary crime, though. That's
I know.
most books that don't deserve to be forgotten are forgotten. That is a crime.
Yeah.
Love it.
So my lightning round book is Louis, just a person that no one's ever heard of, Louis Sachar. Of course, we've all heard of him. He's the most famous for Holes,
Right.
which is for a certain generation of kids. So he's written kids books, but Holes is a really important book to several generations of kids. The Wayside School series. This is his first book for adults, and it's very much in it's aspiring to be in the company of The Princess Bride, The Last Unicorn, The Never-Ending Story, those kinds of classic fantasy books that you read whether you're like a fantasy person or not, because they're so well told, so bring in themes that we can all relate to. So this came out last week also. The early reviews, the reader response has been fantastic. Kirkus had this like perfect way of summing it up. They said Sachar's wry, distinctive voice will remind grown-ups what made him such a success as a children's book author, and it translates perfectly into a book in which the middle-aged father figure is the focus, rather than the star-crossed young lovers. He tells this comical story with the slight detachment of a fairy tale narrator, focusing less on the fantasy elements than on the relationships among the characters, which are straightforward and touching. So it's witty, really well told by a real pro, and it's probably a book that will last for a long time. There will be no literary crime happening here.
No literary crime.
No. The Magician of Tiger Castle by Lewis Sacker.
Sounds great. Sounds like a
Yeah.
fun, just yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird. Like it's a big book. It's a big book.
Yeah.
And it's my lightning round. That's how good, that's how good today was.
That's how good everything was, because it's like, yeah, that sounds like it would be kind of a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of a big deal that this is a first adult
Right.
book.
Because Holes has like sold millions of copies.
Oh my God, still does. Okay, yeah, so I talked about Joan Didion, and yes, she shows up in the correspondent. I see that Amanda is talking to everybody in the chat about that. On Thursday, I know y'all are liking the virtual stuff. We're interviewing one of our great booksellers, Mary, is interviewing Virginia Evans, who wrote the correspondent on Thursday. So Amanda put the link in, but if you're not somewhere that you can get the link, just go to our website and you can sign up for that one. So that'll be Thursday at 4. We'll be talking to her. So can't wait. The correspondent's getting lots of, I think it's that one like book that everybody's been reading. Okay, Julia.
Okay, well, in good old-fashioned lightning round fashion, I have 2 books
We
for
have
the
a
price
kids.
of one.
Do we have a kid? Do we have a kids book? Oh,
I do have 2 kids books.
I
Well, it's hard to tell if these are kids books. I don't know. They don't put them in our kids like section of the catalog, but I think they're kids books because I think they're so rad. So Workman has been putting these books out for years, but they took sort of a break from it. And now these are back. These are called Photiculars, and I'm going to try to like show you how these work. So you can see, can you see it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
see
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
kinda-
Yep.
So as you open these and learn about these birds, they move,
It's crazy.
and it's very cool. And then they teach you here all about all the different birds. So we have birds and bugs, and these are the 2 newest. Yeah, Amanda, Safari is definitely a big seller for people. And then there's like a polar one with polar bears. But anyway, these bugs. So these are these Photiculars. I personally love to give them to kids because I think they're so much fun. And I think there's a particular kind of kid who loves to read like information. And it's not like it's that complicated, it's just on like one page. So I think they're a great kids gifty book. But finally, Workman has started producing these again. So Birds and Bugs. I know that Warwick's has them, and they come out tomorrow. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I brought to my granddaughters are like 2.5, and Robert McFarland has a giant Lost Words book. And so I thought, oh, I'll just get it for them. They were fascinated by it. It's just like beautiful drawings of birds and snakes and stuff. So they're gonna love these when Grammy brings them in their magic suitcase, because I'm bringing these. How do you say it? How do you say it, Julia?
Photiculars.
Photiculars. I love the Photiculars.
Yeah.
I am really glad that you are bringing those Robert McFarlane books to the kiddies, because
they're beautiful.
They're really great. Yeah. One of my publishers publishes those, and they have done well, and it's they're all based on books about nature that have been excised from the dictionary as we move away from the natural world. And so those books are very important besides being beautiful. So
yeah,
so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for
Okay, Lori, before we get to you, Andrea, Lori is asking a question, off-topic question. Perhaps you guys can lend insight to. Theo of Golden has become such a big hit, mostly by word of mouth. Is this a personal decision or because of a series of rejections? Maybe a print on demand? A publisher reps can offer some insight. I've never heard of Theo of Golden. Have any of you?
I just looked it up. and I didn't know it. I didn't know it.
Yeah. It might be that, what is it, that Sam Nell or Sam, remember that book? That's a big self-published book that made the rounds.
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know anything about Theo Golden. Sorry. Sorry,
I
Lori.
mean, I think that sometimes, books start to take off when they're self-published and
Oh,
one
Lori's
of us
saying one of you
recommended.
recommended it one week. Really?
Oh,
Who's the publisher? Now you've got me confused. Come on, Amanda, help us out here.
We need to do more research.
Let's see. All
And
right.
sometimes these books are picked up by publishers too.
It's an Alan Levy publisher. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at the cover. Okay, hold on. Somebody did talk. Amanda, did you talk about this? Here, I'm going to show you guys the picture. Amanda's ignoring me.
She said no, I think.
Oh. It's this book. Who talked about this book? Because I know I've seen it. I don't know. It's so familiar, though. Who talked about it? Somebody talked about it. You're right. Whoever said that we talked about it, somebody did. But I'm not sure who. So there you have it. Well, it's good. I love Lori.
Wow, this is a great recommendation.
It's a mystery. Theo of Golden. Who talked about it? Okay, now I'm good. My COVID brain's kicking in. Okay, Andrea, what's your last lightning round?
I'm going to do a kid's book too, At the Rescue Cat Cafe.
Oh, God, I love it.
Very, very pretty and cute. Let me see if I can now get out and oh God.
Let me do it?
Well, I want to show the I just for some reason it won't let me
Here, I'll get you out of this and then you can get to the next thing.
yeah, sorry about that. I'll have
That's
to go
okay.
back. Because I want to show you like all the great photos of the cats in the Rescue Cat Cafe, and all these different people come through this place, and it is just wonderful. And there's one little girl that's there a lot, and she can't really decide which cat she wants. And so she continues to oh man. Okay, I'll move this way. Yeah. I can't for some reason, maybe if I move this. Aha, okay. So there's all these different perfectly matched cats. Like here, this cat, Millicent, goes with a very well-to-do lady. They match perfectly. And a nurse takes home a cat who's gotten an ear injury in a fight. And there's a little cat there, Mouse, who's been hiding and is very shy, just like this little girl. And where's the first picture where you meet Mouse, and Mouse is always like hiding. And finally, after a week of visiting, our protagonist, our little girl protagonist, takes Mouse home, and I'm sorry, it is delightful and so cute. I mean, come on. It is just wonderful. And I'm happy that now I can't get out of here. Sorry.
I'll get you out. That's all right. There we go.
What's wrong with me
No
today?
worries. That's darling.
There's kind of a new format or something, and I don't know.
Yeah, because every time you go to share a screen, you show up next to the picture, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But anyway, that's really cute, and that's from Owl Kids, which is one of our stalwart north of the border Canadian publishers, and their children's program is fantastic, and so I always like to feature them once or twice a quarter here.
Okay, so Alan Levy, who wrote Theo of Golden, there's an interview on YouTube. Maybe he talks about why he was self-published. You never know. So that would be my guess. But I don't know why. I don't think we did talk about it. I don't know. I can't remember anybody talking about it here, but I saw it online. It was like popping up in my feed somewhere. So Anywho, join us on Thursday for Virginia Evans. We have Jane Healy, who will be talking about the women of Arlington Hall. Trying to think of what else next week. If you're in San Diego, we have Kim Fay in town.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be here on Friday. We're gonna have a luncheon with her, and also the luncheon's over at Santa Lucia, so Lori, I'll probably be seeing you there. And we have an evening event with her, and then
Nice.
I think she's going to be at the Festival of Books too. San Diego Festival of Books is a week from Saturday, so there we go.
Always something
Yeah.
going on in San Diego.
San Diego is the spot, baby. Got the literary world just cranking down here. All right, I'm starting to fade. I'm feeling the COVID hit me.
Take it
It's
easy.
like-
Be extra good to yourself. Lots of water
Yeah.
and like just stay down, girl.
Yeah, I just like all of a sudden I just like that wall just came in front of me and I'm like, okay, I have to finish talking for another minute and then
You did a great job, though. That's amazing that you got through this.
I gotta go lay down. So everybody happy reading. I'm gonna go finish the Reese Witherspoon book. I can't wait. Poor Harlan, it's gonna be known as the Reese Witherspoon book.
Yeah.
Not sure he'll mind too much though. So all right, everybody. Happy reading. We'll see you
Bye.
next week. Bye.